Hey friends, welcome back to part 3 of our Newfoundland St. John series. In this video, we explore the charming Quidi Vidi Village, check out the Johnson Geo Centre, visit the most easterly point in North America, and of course, try lots of amazing food and drinks. Mike and I got really lucky with the weather in Newfoundland. This morning was the only time we had a bit of rain, and it didn't even last long. We hiked up to the charming Quidi Vidi Village, and by the time we arrived, the rain had stopped. This nautical little spot was full of character, from boat access-only homes to cool fish sculptures around the dock. Our main stops were Mallard Cottage for brunch, and the Quidi Vidi Brewery. Mallard Cottage is a very unique place to dine. The menu changes daily, but there's always something for everybody. When Mike was explaining Mallard Cottage to me, we really hoped that we were going to get their famous Eggs Benedict, since a lot of people were raving in the reviews about it. But we got more of a lunch-based menu instead, which was perfectly fine with us. They have unique cocktails, but Mike ended up getting the Iron Cherry Sour from Quidi Vidi Brewery, but I held off on drinks until we actually got there later. So I settled for a nice classic ginger ale. It was good. It helped my tummy.
I do quite like ginger ale.
Ginger ale's nice. Any other ginger ale fans? Let us know down below. For the food, I had the fresh Newfoundland tilapia with house-made chili oil, parsnips, zucchini, and cherry tomatoes. Mike went for the Berkshire pork chops with roasted parsnips, turnip, and smashed potatoes in a wild mushroom cream sauce. This was huge for him since he's really not a mushroom guy, but he loved how they prepared them. I made it a goal to have fish every day while I was here, so I skipped the ratatouille option, although it was very tempting. Everything was perfectly cooked, well seasoned, and packed with flavor. We both loved our meals. It's a bit of a pricier dining experience, but it's absolutely worth it. Mallard Cottage gets a 4 out of 5 from us. After getting a taste of Quidi Vidi back at Brew Dock with their Bake Apple Ghosts, we were excited to try more at their brewery. This quickly became one of our favorite breweries ever. The stunning views, cozy patio with ceiling heat warmers, and great beer selection made it a huge standout for us. This is also where you can get that iceberg beer that we tried on our first day at Duke of Duckworth. We also loved their merch. So many great options here. Mike couldn't stop thinking about this one orange shirt in particular, so he ended up grabbing it. Safe to say it's now one of his favorites. Even though we just ate at Mallard Cottage, we thought we might as well try some of their food options here. So we split a classic spinach and artichoke dip, because who doesn't love that? It was delicious. Loved the cheese, nice and warm, great flavor. Chips, on the other hand, a little stale. Dip, still good though. And for our pints, I went with the Half Fancy. This has blueberry notes and creamy flavors with a hint of lemon and light hop bitterness. Mike had the Candy Store IPA, which is brewed with candy-like hop flavors, sweet cereal malts, and a touch of cacao. Safe to say, we loved every bit of it, and mine a little bit more. This place had a lot of drink options, so it was hard to land on just a few. We decided to split a flight to get a better taste of what they had. We got the Aloha, a sour IPA, a lively, juicy hop bomb combining 2 great beer styles, the Salted Caramel Stout, which is a sweet stout with sea salt, a smooth, creamy, and delicious stout, lightly sweet with mild roasted malts and salted caramel on the finish. We also got the Blackberry and Rosemary Sour, a fruit and herb sour, blackberry and rosemary flavors balanced by a light level of tartness and some sweetness on the finish, and finally the Day Boil. This is a session IPA, an easy drinking session IPA brimming with grapefruit characters. From best to least favorite, we both thought the blackberry and rosemary sour was fantastic. Such a one-of-a-kind drink. Next was the Aloha, super refreshing and very enjoyable. The Day Boil followed closely behind, and it was a toss-up between that and the Aloha since they were both equally great. Finally, the Salted Caramel Stout, which, surprisingly, really grew on us despite neither of us being stout drinkers. Overall, everything was delightful. Quidi Vidi Brewery completely won us over. Stunning views, a cozy heated patio, fantastic drinks, and a great atmosphere. Every beer had something unique to offer. Even the stout surprised us. Plus, Mike left with a new favorite shirt. They get a big 5 out of 5 from us. Did I mention yet how hilly Newfoundland is? Well, I swear, everything we ate and drank, we worked right off with our hike to get over to the Johnson Geo Centre. We stumbled upon this trail that turned out to be a nice shortcut, leading us straight to the Geo Vista Park, basically an outdoor free museum. This was such a cool find. We learned a lot of history and spent a good amount of time strolling around, reading the plaques and exploring each exhibit before heading to the entrance of the Johnson Geo Centre. Outside of the Geo Centre, they had all of these amazing rocks that were millions of years old, which really blew us away. I kind of felt this need to touch every single one because of just how old they were. It was like this weird need in me to be like, I touched a million-year-old rock. That's freaking cool. Am I wrong? Are you gonna look at me and tell me that I'm wrong? The price for admission was super affordable and totally worth it. Mike and I love learning about new places, and the fact that this was located in Signal Hill made it even cooler. You step into the exhibit and take an elevator down into the mountain and learn all about rocks, how St. John's came to be, and Signal Hill's incredible history. There are a lot of interactive things to do as well, so it's a great spot for kids or anyone looking to have a fun educational time.
What?
Wrapping up our time here at the Johnson Geo Centre, we decided to rate it a solid 3.5 out of 5. It was a great way to spend a few hours, but not necessarily a whole day. We really enjoyed our visit and definitely think more people should check it out if you're in the area. After debating whether or not to spend a little extra money on a taxi ride to Cape Spear, we're really happy that we decided to go. It would have been a huge missed opportunity not to see the most easterly point in North America. Our lovely cab driver made sure that we had a ride back since there's not much phone service out there. We quickly found out he was right. We had almost zero reception here. The views from the Cape Spear Lighthouse was absolutely breathtaking. And though we did take some risky photos, which we do not recommend, it's hard to grasp just how far the water is from beneath you. We spotted a few people taking photos over here, and you can tell it's a very popular spot from the grass indent, but after walking over there and looking down, it was actually quite scary to see how dangerous the spot was. So if you're heading there and you want to take photos, be sure to be careful and think things through when capturing these memories. The view of the Atlantic Ocean just left us absolutely mesmerized. Like, we just kept stopping and looking around and taking it all in. After viewing the lighthouse, we made our way to the official most easterly point in North America. Not only was making it to this point very monumental for us, it became even more special when we looked out and spotted another whale. This time it was a humpback whale. Some people thought it was an orca, but after doing some research, we learned it was actually a beautiful humpback whale. It was truly amazing to see.
Best whale watching. Easily the West Coast. If you're gonna go whale watching on the East Coast, you might want to bring a magazine called West Coast Whales. Because you're not gonna see it.
Indeed. I guess we just got really lucky. Multiple times. Even though there's not much to do here except take in a lot of those beautiful views, and we didn't get to enter the lighthouse since it was closed, we still highly recommend everyone make their way to this beautiful spot and say you've been to the most easterly point in all of North America. So many locals recommended this lovely spot called the Gypsy Tea Room. When we arrived, we were informed that there was a wedding event of some kind happening, so some options were unavailable and there might be a bit of a wait time. Honestly, we didn't mind the wait at all, the service was wonderful. For our appetizer, we got the baked brie wrapped in phyllo, served with cranberry coulis, walnuts, balsamic glaze, and crostinis. It was delicious, though we felt the brie to crostini ratio was a bit off for the price. For drinks, we both got the best cocktail of our trip, the candied apple. made with Crown Royal apple whiskey, butterscotch liqueur, apple, cranberry, lemon, and maple, garnished with a cherry. For Mike's main, he went with the Cajun chicken fettuccine with Parmesan red peppers and Cajun cream. I was eyeing a few dishes, but they were out of them unfortunately, so I went with the blackened salmon served with basmati rice, vegetables, and sun-dried tomato cream. Mike thought his fettuccine was perfectly creamy with just the right amount of spice, and I thought my salmon was cooked to perfection and the sun-dried tomato cream paired so well with it. We both loved everything that we had from start to finish, and our server was an added delight. We rate the Gypsy Tea Room a 5 out of 5. It's a bit on the pricier side, but once again, totally worth it, and we can see why all the locals are recommending it. After an adventure-filled day and our bellies full, we ended the day with a nice, relaxing stay in the hot tub and probably had the best sleep of the trip. I don't know if you can tell, but we're pretty pooched. Pretty relaxed. Ready for bed. That wraps up part 3 of our Newfoundland series. We had an amazing day exploring, indulging in great food, and soaking in all the views. Our next video will be our final day in Newfoundland, so be sure to stick around for that. See you in the next one.